Hello everyone, this is Anil and I am going to explain about the risk-driven model. And in every development process, we have many risks at different stages. For example, we have different stages like analysis, design, implementation. So we have risk at every stage. So we need to reduce those risks by using different kind of techniques. So here our risk-driven model help us to reduce those risks by using different kind of techniques. And we can use this risk-driven model in every process like waterfall model, spiral model, agile model. So we can use this risk-driven model in every process. So it's our benefit to use this model. And coming to risk, what is the risk? Risk can be defined as the probability of failure times and the impact of failure on the process. For example, if we don't reduce the risk in early stages, then it may cost on budget and time. So we can't deliver our product in time. So we have to reduce the risk in time itself. And coming to types of risk, we have different kind of risk like engineering risk and project management risk. For example, we have 7 stages maximum. Coming to take waterfall model, we have 7 stages like analysis, design, implementation, documentation, and management. So the risk in the analysis, design, and implementation called as engineering risk. So we need to find the risk in analysis, we need to find the risk in the design model, we need to find risk in the implementation. So these are called engineering. These should be done by the developer, because developer should write the code, developer should design the blueprint, so he has to take care of this kind of risk. Coming to project management risk, these risks are associated with the schedule and the sequencing of work and budget and time. So the budget can be budget may be time or cost. So we need to find the risk according to the budget and time. This should be done by the team leader or the project management, because those are the main people in the project development process. And coming to risk-driven model, this model can be defined as this model guides the developer to find the appropriate technique to reduce the risk, because we have different kind of risk. So every risk is not reduced by the same kind of technique. So we may have bulk of techniques. So we need to select the appropriate technique for the appropriate risk. So this may be done by the risk-driven model. So it guides the software developer to find the appropriate technique to reduce the risk. And it is an iterative of development. Nothing but every iteration we may find the feedback from the customers, feedback from the developer, feedback from the manager. So based on the feedback, we have to select the appropriate technique to reduce the risk. And the main focus of the risk-driven model is to first we need to find the level of risk, because we may have negotiable risk, or we may have high level of risk. So we need to find the level of risk first. According to the risk, we have to give the priority order. For example, the risk which we have given the 10, that should be first reduced. Then we come to 9, 8, 7, 6. In the order, we need to find the level of risk, and we need to apply the technique to reduce the risk. And coming to the steps in the risk-driven model, we have three steps. For example, first we need to identify the risk in every stages. Then we need to give the order of the risk based upon the level of the risk. And the second one is we have bulk of techniques, so we need to select the appropriate technique based on the feedback from the customers. And coming to the third one, we need to reduce the risk. We need to evaluate the risk, and we need to reduce the risk. And these are the alternatives to risk-driven, because we can't use, for example, most developers who don't want to use this model in their process because of some bad disadvantage. So some people use these alternatives to alternative to the risk-driven model. In that first we have no design. No design means, for example, the developer should fix some before starting the coding. He'll fix to some design. So fix to some blueprint. So according to the blueprint, he will design and he will code for design. And second is the documentation package. Documentation is very important in every software development process, because without document we can't find anything in the process. If we want to explain our project to any new customer or any new developer, we have to surely maintain our documentation properly. So in documentation, the developer should have to provide the complete design techniques in the documentation. So with the help of documentation, we can build the models, we can build the design techniques. And coming to R6, this is well explained by the Barry Boehm, because he told that according to the Barry Boehm, the time spent on architecture can be used for the planning and staffing of the development process. So for example, it was that best amount of time spent for architecture depending upon the size of the project. For example, if you have the large amount of project, we can spend more amount on the architecture. So if you have a small project, we can spend at least 10 to 15 minutes on the architecture. This is the statistics provided by the Barry Boehm. And coming to ad hoc, this is the one which will be developed based on the previous knowledge and previous experience. For example, developers which have 10 to 15 years of experience in the development process, they can do the well in the development process. And here comes to a conclusion. The final conclusion I want to tell about risk model is, by using this model, we can select appropriate technique to reduce the risk.